Hello everybody, this is Gareth C. Thomas, the East London District Scout Treasurer, and today I'm going to carry on with the creation of the bank tracking spreadsheet and the analysis so that group treasurers can use this tool to be able to complete their year-end accounts very easily and very quickly. Now, if you remember, just a quick recap, this is what we were looking to achieve. We were trying to get to this, oops, excuse me, I hit the wrong key there. Right, where were we? Yes, we are trying to get this spreadsheet. Let's go to the side. There we are. Okay. We were trying to create this spreadsheet, and in the first video we created this section here, so we've done that part. Now this video will concentrate on this section here. Now it all stems, this in essence all stems from completion, your ability to be able to complete this. Now this form here is the East London District Scouts group accounts template that everybody will be using soon, and if you're not already using it, you need to be aware of this form. It's in an Excel spreadsheet. It's very easy to complete, but of course it all depends on the figures that you've got to put into the sheet. So if you've got good information going into the sheet, the actual spreadsheet is very easy to complete, and all it is really is a summary of your income and expenditure and your bank account balances and cash balances for the year. So if I just go quickly explain a little bit about it, you've got your group name there, and it's, as it says, a receipts and payments account summary for the year ended 31st of March and then whatever year it is, but of course it could be 31st of December and whatever the year is. It depends on your own accounting year end. Then we have two columns. We've got a previous year column, so these are all brought forward balances, and this is the current year column all the way down there. Okay, right. Now this section here, this top section here, this is the summary, and these fields here are populated by formulae which take from different cells the actual figures. So if I double click that, you can see it comes from L110. So go down to L110, and we're in column L now, and we're looking at, if you can just see it from the side, it shows 10, but it's 110 there, and you can see that it's the total receipts for the year, and of course it's 0 at the moment because there's nothing in. But that figure there, whatever's in that that cell, will be carried copied above up here by the formula into that cell there. And so you slowly start to see that if you complete this spreadsheet with your figures from your group analysis here, okay, so the figures you'll be inputting will be that one there, if anything, that one there, and so on and so forth. Okay, as you complete this analysis and you have the totals at the bottom, these totals will be populating this spreadsheet, and in particular it will be populating these cells, which in turn populate the summary up here. So you can see there's a process to follow, and what you need to do is get a copy of this. If you haven't got a copy, then contact me and I will send you a copy, because you will need it. You will need to just familiarize yourself, and let's just quickly go through this. We've got here on the income side, we're looking at the receipts, membership subscriptions. That's obviously your membership subscriptions collected from your young people, unless any membership subscriptions paid to East London District, which of course is the annual payment that you make to me for your membership subscriptions, as announced in the invoice that we send you. Then you've got income investment income received, you have bank interest, building society interest, dividends and interest, and property rents. Now, depending on your kind of group and how the kind of assets that your group actually will hold and control, I would suggest, or I would say, that most of you probably only have bank interest and building society interest. In some cases you may have dividends and interest, which I doubt, unless somebody has bequeathed shares to you and the dividends come to your group as some kind of charitable donation. That's where that might happen. And then of course if you have a property, then you've got property rental income. But as I say, most of you won't. Next we have donations and grants. Well, that should be a fairly common category to complete, because you should all be going out and getting donations and grants where you can to support your activities. Here you have income based on the activities, so this is where you would recharge your young people for a particular event, and where maybe you subsidised it. So you would ask for £5 or £10 towards the cost of the overall cost of the event. Here we have fundraising. Now fundraising is different, remember, from donations and grants. And you might say, well, what is the difference? Well, donations and grants, these are where you don't actually do anything for it. They are, as they are saying here, donations. They're gifts of money from people to your group. They may be for a specific purpose, or they may be just general donations and grants. But either way, you don't actually have to go out and work for them. They just kind of come to you. Although I would say that if you're applying for a grant, there is a bit of work involved in actually applying for the grant, but that's another story. But the point is, there's no going out and packing bags in shops and fundraising on the street. Whereas this one, the fundraising, there is. So you need to be aware when you're categorizing the income that you do keep these separate, so that you show good transparent accounts. And then we have a category for other income and sundry receipts, just to cover all eventualities. So there may be something that doesn't neatly fit into one of these other categories. It's not a big deal, just stick it in the other income or the sundry receipts, but make a note of it just here. So that would be the total receipts for the year. And next we come to the payments. Next, premises. And under premises, we've categorized or subcategorized the overall premises costs into rent, rates, light, heat, insurance, repairs and renewals, etc. Now, most of you will probably only have rent. Unless you're getting accommodation for your activities rent-free, you might be paying a small rent to a church or a local group. If you have a premises, however, you will be paying not the rates perhaps, but you will be paying light and heat. You should have insurance, buildings insurance, and you will be paying towards repairs and renewals. So all these categories will be completed. Here, donations and grants. This is where you as a group may actually donate money or grant money to an individual or another charity. It does happen if you do an activity and the party providing that activity is in itself a charity, then you may, rather than pay them a fee as such, you may just donate £50 towards the charity for putting on that event. So that's where that payment would go. Then you have the activities payments, and of course the main activities payments for all of you will be camp. Here we have fundraising expenses. That's of course if you have expenses incurred as a direct result of fundraising, such as hire of a coach to get a load of people to a particular shopping centre to do bag packing, then that's where that kind of expenditure would go. Admin establishment expenses, this is where you would charge off your general admin and establishment expenses, such as stationery, photocopying, ink, toner, cartridges, paper, sellotape, all kinds of stationery items, telephone bills, postage, that kind of stuff. Trustee expenses and other expenses. If you have any expenditure claims from a trustee in your group, such as the group treasurer or the secretary, you would categorize their expenditure under that particular category. Other expenses, that's just a catch-all really. If there's something that isn't quite fitting naturally into one of the other categories, then I would put it in there, but I would also make a note of what it was because we need to know. Here, purchase of capital equipment. Now, this is where you will buy tentage or equipment such as cooking utensils, gas stoves, anything related to your ongoing activity which has a life. So it's not a one-off purchase of something that has a life of one time. It's an ongoing thing, so you can reuse the equipment over and over again. Then you've got purchase of badges and sundry payments, and possibly loans repaid. I doubt whether many of the groups would have that, so that's probably not going to be necessary. But you could have sundry payments of something else, and you would just put a note in there, and of course the amount. And finally, we have the statement of assets and liabilities. Now I'm not going to talk about that at the moment because the main purpose of this video was just to show you that you need to know what the categories are which you will be building up in your analysis spreadsheet. So you can see we've got the receipts here, okay, and we've got the payments here, and these are the main headings that we will be looking at. So premises, rent, rate, light, etc. So if we just flick back to our analysis spreadsheet, our example, on the credit side we have the credit analysis first of all, and you've got the category. Now if you remember, membership, and flick up to the top, membership. Remember this, investment income received, bank interest. Go down here, investment income received, bank interest. Now here's another one, investment income received, rental income. Now you could have bank and building society, you could amalgamate the two, or you can keep them separate. It just depends on what you've got. If you've got bank and building society accounts, then do separate them. If you've only got a bank account or a building society account, it goes into that one column. And if you have a property, then the rental income goes in there. Then we had, if you remember, donations and grants, activities, fundraising and sundry income. So they're all the headings of this template that you're putting into your analysis spreadsheet. And essentially you are going to be analysing your income so that when you do, all your credits, all your receipts will easily slot into one of these categories here. Now, so this is what the credit analysis is going to look like, and of course in the next video we will start to build out this analysis. So keep an eye out for the next video.